So second law?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Ready for the second law?
So the second
Of
law
power.
says never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use
Who
enemies.
said I'm your friend? Who said I'm your enemy?
I
Do I
pointed
know
out to you.
okay. Okay.
So this
Okay.
is-
What does that mean? Is
okay.
there more description? to
Yeah,
that?
there's more description to it, and it says that be wary of friends.
Okay.
They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. Number one. They also become spoiled and tyrannical, but hire a former enemy and he will be more loyal than a friend. And then again, the sexist language. I mean, why he? It could be a she as well. Anyhow, but he has more to prove. Like, I mean, if you're going to hire a former enemy of yours, so would try to prove his or her loyalty to you, so therefore would be kind of more used
Wow.
to you. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Let's be on that journey to make enemies. Where to find the
Oh,
enemies?
just think this. You just ask all the enemies of Sadeh Bashir, please comment.
Who would love to
There
be
would
the enemy? Please do comment.
Hundreds of it. Okay. No, but if you want to unpack
Come
this
again.
role, see, if you don't have an enemy, that's a problem. If you have an enemy, that's good.
It means
that
you're doing something right
yes,
then.
you're
If you
doing
have
something
lots
right.
of people
So
who
it is important to have enemies,
Yeah.
by the way, okay? And who is an enemy? Enemy is someone who opposes you. That's how it starts, you know.
Again,
from
a very-
simple opposition.
Ag-
From a simple opposition, it starts. Trust me. And okay, so do you want to unpack the fact that
Because I don't want to start another discussion right now, so I think we're going to stick to power today.
power,
Not who
yes.
the enemies are and
No,
how
no,
to
no.
describe the enemies.
No.
But anyhow, yeah.
But do you want to unpack this?
Yeah, we want to. Why? Because see, at the workplace, what about the corporate sector? Do you really have friends there at the workplaces? Can you call them friends, or are they colleagues, or are they team workers, or who are they? Or can you call them friends?
Okay, so I
Or is it
would
okay
like to
to
talk
have
about
friends
two
there?
perspectives, okay, here
Okay.
in the corporate sector, because again, in today's world, okay, in the global scenario that we have a lot of focus on well-being, and we have a lot of focus on culture and collaborative culture and the psychological safety of employees. So keeping that in mind, one of the psychological needs that an employee has is to find collaboration and friendship at the workplace. But if you talk about power, and if we talk about actual reality,
Yeah, it's very
it is
important
very hard
to
to
know, yeah.
make friends in the workplace, because there will always be an element of competition there. There will always be an element of ambition. There will always be an element of personal goals, okay, that can outshine your connections with the colleagues and peers. But that does not mean that you don't form them.
So,
You
so,
still
do
form
you,
them.
so do you think that, like, I mean, if you really want to be powerful at your workplaces, you don't make friends there? I mean, it's two things. One is your emotional health. It's the psychosocial support at times you get from the friends, etc. But in order to be powerful, now it's a different concept. Like when you exercise
Trust me,
power,
if you want to put power in
that's something-
perspective in
yeah.
the corporate sector, it's ruthless.
So then you think that in order to be powerful,
There's
you
no
don't
such
have
thing
to
as
have
friends.
friends there. So you
There
can
is
have good colleagues, you can
connections.
have good connections, you can
Yes.
have good relationship with your colleagues.
There's no such thing as a good
So,
relationship.
not
There
relationship,
is a
rather.
fluent rapport. So there's a word called schmoozing in the corporate sector.
Okay.
Again, it's a negative connotative word,
Okay.
but it means that you build a kind of a connection with the other person, where the other person's where there's an agenda.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you seek power and if you want to climb up the ladder through this route of
Okay.
power, then yes, you don't build relationships per se. You build connections, and
Yeah.
you build. You
But
could
isn't
say
a workplace relationship a
networking
term?
more. Huh?
A workplace relationship.
Of course, it's a term.
So,
of course it's a term.
but then again, you say that like you have a working relationship with them. You don't have an intimate relationship with them, or you don't have that kind of proximity. You share that proximity in which you are comfortable in sharing your secrets in a way that
never share
those
secrets
people
with your
might come
colleagues.
back to you. You should do it with your friends. So that's why
Yes.
maybe it stops you from making friends at the workplaces. Why? Because then you're vulnerable with friends. You have
Thank
your
you.
guards down.
Thank you. You
And then
automatically use the right word.
Yeah, so-
Vulnerability. If you are vulnerable in the corporate sector and your
you can't
goal
be
is
powerful.
power, you
then
can't
you
be
can't be
powerful.
powerful. So I think
I know it's
but again,
ironic
it
here.
depends. It depends,
And,
but again,
this
it's
is
a
what
matter of
states
choice.
in the
It's a
this is what
matter of
states in the
choice.
book. And yes, this
It's
is
a matter of choice. Like
Yes.
if you want to be powerful, then you should know that who is the right person with whom you are sharing your secrets, I would say, or maybe things that are closer to you, or maybe things that would make you vulnerable. So I think that they would have to make a choice, either to like if your emotional health and your well-being and safety is of more importance, and you think that there is somebody who is going to provide you with that. But then again, you have to be very choosy. Why? Because in the end, if the same person is going to stab you in the back with those very
But why would you call it stab
things.
in the back if the other person, okay, just imagine, I'll give you a scenario. Okay,
Okay.
there's a situation where there are two people in the team.
Okay.
And they both are really connecting with each other on a personal level. I mean,
Okay.
their interests are the same, they like
Alright.
talking to each other,
Yeah.
their humor is the same,
Yeah.
and they connect and they click.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
start befriending each other, they start sharing everything. So it's like a good friendship that everyone knows about,
Alright.
right?
Okay.
And then there comes a time when there's a promotion due. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they both,
And they both
good-
are in line, for
They both
example.
are in line for
Okay.
that. Now again, if one of them gets it, do
Hmm.
you think the other person will feel envious? Of course, it's human nature.
But technically, if the person is emotionally mature, and
There's
if
no
really,
such thing as
really,
emotional maturity at that
really,
level.
really, enjoys the friendship and the relationship with the other person,
Think
then I
about
think
it.
would understand that, maybe would be more reflective, would think that, okay, what should I do in order to be, get promoted? Or maybe it's the authorities with whom, you need to settle the score, but not that person who got promoted. But the opposite happens.
Because
You
there
start-
is
you start
emotional
feeling
maturity
envious about
is
that
a
person.
very important element.
Yeah.
Not many people have it when they
Yeah.
are entering the corporate sector, or even when they are there for a longer time. And
Yeah.
trust me, when it comes to power, you have to play ruthless. This is what the book says.
This is what the book says.
This is what the book says, and
Maybe
this
not
is
what
what we've
Mariam
seen
says,
happening.
but
This
this is
is not what I'm saying. I am in full support of psychological safety at the workplace.
Yeah.
But if you want to seek power and if you want to climb up the ladder
But
faster,
if you really,
then this is
if
what
there
the
is
book
a need
says.
to have a friend with whom you can connect emotionally or maybe spiritually or at any level, then you can have it outside the workplace as well.
Hence, they say that build connection from every sector and every industry, and have cross-industrial connections and networking opportunities for yourself, so that you can build connection outside work as well. That does not mean that you don't form good connections with the peers.
You do.
You must, but again, depends on your goal in the corporate sector.
All right. So
Okay?
next law says that conceal your intentions. Right? It says that keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late.
This is
No,
like Suits. This is Harvey Specter. This is Suits, and this is true. Yeah, I mean, this happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I think then you don't have to again, I would say for me, the more ethical side to it would be that you don't actually guide someone the wrong path, and you keep your cards to yourself. Yes, that I believe, and that I practice, that you don't show all your cards, you keep them to yourself, but you can do it ethically as well, rather than leading someone down the wrong path and misguiding them, and in the end,
but
like.
Sadia, do you not see that?
But again, it talks about power, right? So when we look at
I'm asking you
from that
from
perspective, then in order to be powerful, then maybe this is one of the ways that people exercise. But for me, I think I don't resonate with this thought.
Do you mean to say that there is an ethical version of power?
For me, it is. It should be. If it is not,
it
then
is
it
not
should
power.
be. It has to be. For me, it has to be, because this is something that I actually can't make peace with.
So
anyhow,
there is a subjective opinion as well
So yeah.
when it comes to power. Again, it depends. It differs from person to person. So this is what the book says. By the
Yeah,
again,
book
every,
says
every
just
law
be
will give a
ruthless.
disclaimer. Okay.
Cutthroat market. All right.
Okay. Number
All right,
number
so
4.
The number 4 says
There is a
always. There's a bee. There's a bee. Okay. Hello, bee.
The B comes to the people who have good frequency. They don't come to everyone.
And what about
मेरे पास इतना नहीं. Thank you. I know I'm good,
you
but
really
no.
have good energy.
Thank you so much. Okay, all right.
Okay.
We recorded
So
it.
next,
Okay.
so the next law is that always say less than necessary. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control. So even if you are saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and Sphinx-like. Oh
Beautiful.
my God!
I loved it. Why? Because it is
Powerful
one of
people.
it is one of the laws of communication as well. Effective communication.
Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish, ultimately. So that's why speak less. It's good. But Sphinx, like,
What is Sphinx to you?
it's a mythical creature, and
It's
then it
right,
was a
it's right.
character. It was because it was whatever the Sphinx would. Sphinx is the character that would talk in riddles. It's the same one. So Sphinx like is more like talking like riddles. Maybe you don't put out meaning. You don't make the meaning very conspicuous. Just like very easy to understand. So you just put it and fold it in the layers of meaning, and you just put it for the people to understand and decipher and reach out to the core and essence of the discourse. But you just don't put it out there for them.
If you want to understand in simple words,
Yeah.
and if you want to, you understand how the lawyers work, okay? Because most of the time when they want to win any argument,
Harvey Specter friend.
where I am, when they don't want to win they don't want you to win an argument, they leave it open-ended, and they leave for you to decide. So you will not put them accountable for it's like you said it. They're like, no, we never said it. We said this, and this is a vague statement.
Yeah.
It is general statement. Anybody can use it for anyone. So that's why
Nowadays
you
people
don't
record
give
you
a
as
factual.
well.
Of course. So what we are saying right now, it is
We
on
can
our,
come
it is
back
on
to
record
you.
to us. It is on record for us as well. Whatever we are putting up on
That's
to
why,
see for public.
That's why
So-
I'm saying time and again
yes.
that this is not our perspective. This is what this book says. That's amazing, in so many ways. Anyhow, but this is it says this just don't. But I think it's all right. Like apparently you really need to say less.
You should.
Yeah.
Listen more. In a nutshell, if you want to say, so people would be like, okay, what do we do then? Listen. Your power lies
Be
when you are a good
receptive.
listener.
Be receptive, because if you will be receptive, then you will be
Receptive
able
to
to
the non-verbal
understand.
cues.
Yeah, non-verbal cues,
Yes.
paralinguistic cues.
Yes.
When you will be more receptive, I think, then you will be able to know the hidden intention of the
person.
sender of the message. So
Thank you. Yes.
all right. So next law is, so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Yes, I believe in it.
Very.
Yes, it's very
much.
important.
Staunch
Reputation
believer.
is it says that it is the cornerstone of power, because you really have to have that very good reputation in order to appear powerful or be powerful in its actual sense. So through reputation alone you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation very potent in a way that it's very hard for people to find out any loophole in that. And meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputations. Now, this is where the cunning part comes.
This is the evil
It says,
part
learn
of
to
it.
destroy your enemies by opening holes in their reputations. Then stand aside and let people
Tear them apart.
make their opinions about them, and then actually.
So this book tells
run
you
them
a
down.
normal way of things, and then it tells you the extremely destructive way of things as well. But the second part that it says is very important, because that is how you will. So till the time you weaken the opponent,
so
will
you
not
will
be
become
powerful.
powerful.
Yeah, that's it.
when
You
weaken,
weaken
you
the
become
opponent.
powerful.
You don't.
And the word it uses, it says that let the public hang them. Like, it's not like physically hang them, but it's like through their words and all that. All right, so
Can we talk about one more thing while we're talking about this? In social media, when people talk about things recklessly or carelessly, when they say anything and when they just show anything, do you think it is not? It just goes away? It does not go away. People associate that with their reputation, and there is a brand, there is an image of yours that is being projected across to the public. So be very careful.
next it says, pose as a friend and work as a spy.
Which one is that?
Toothless, this one.
Okay.
Pose as a friend and work as a spy.
Oh my God.
Knowing about your rival is critical.